For some odd reason, the federales allowed the mainstream media to tour the home of the New Orleans attacker, Samsudeen Jabbar. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the federales allowing the mainstream media, not just one organization, but quite a few mainstream media outlets to tour the apartment of the New Orleans attacker, Samsudeen Jabbar. Now, this is really crazy, and I can't say I've seen this kind of thing before. Normally, okay, it's a terror attack, mass shooting. They're going to raid the home. They're going to take evidence, and that's it. You're not going to get a first-person view of what's happening inside the home. I've never in my life seen this. I don't understand why they're doing it. Maybe it's been done before, and I haven't seen it, but we're going to talk about that. Also, there's quite a few updates about the situation in Las Vegas with a Tesla truck, and also in New Orleans with Samsudeen Jabbar, the Ford F-150 Lightning and whatnot. Now, before I continue, may all those who died in New Orleans rest in peace, prayers out to the family, and those who are still injured, recovering, may you get well soon. Now, let's get to some updates before we get to the tour of the home. The Ballards. Remember I spoke about the Ballards on the street of Bourbon Street? Okay, why are the Ballards not there? Why do we have plastic barriers? How did Samsudeen Jabbar get the Ford F-150 Lightning into the street and attack these people and take their lives? You see the headline right here. Malfunctioning security bollards are removed from Bourbon Street before truck attack. Subhead, New Orleans was replacing older vehicle barriers, which are known as bollards, ahead of the city's hosting of Super Bowl in February. So the ones they had before, and we're going to see that in a minute, the ones they had before were not really that good. They were malfunctioning. They were just unreliable, so they had to replace them before the big game. Unfortunately, they were not there when needed them. And also, if they were there, they probably wouldn't have been effective. And I'm going to get into all of that. Now, this is the route the person took, Samsudeen Jabbar, okay? He drove down the street and then turned onto Bourbon Street and then just floored it, and unfortunately took a lot of lives with him. Now you can see right here is kind of a curve. There was, you see this little white spot? I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, you see the white spot here. All right, so there is a barrier right there, whether it be a vehicle or something was right there rather than the bollards. But that's normally where the bollards are. What he did was just drive around it. Now, some are saying, well, there's nothing that could have been done because he drove around it and all this, that, and the third. Even if the bollards were there, it wouldn't have made a difference. Well, here is a novel idea. How about extend the bollards onto the sidewalk, or at least beyond just this opening right here? Maybe the bollards should be all the way across to the point where you could walk onto the sidewalk, but you wouldn't be able to fit an F-150 Lightning through it. Look, I have an F-150, not a Lightning, of course. I got a real F-150, 5.0 V8 Coyote. Okay, same thing in the Mustang. I don't play around with this electric stuff, all the newfangled gadgets. I don't have that. That truck is really big. It's challenging to park it sometimes. Parking garages, lose little narrow spaces is a challenge. How are you able to get that beyond police cars, other kind of concrete barriers? I think it's not. I think what you have here is a security flaw that's existed for a long time, and it was exposed on New Year's Day. Now, here are the normal bollards. These are the ones that they were replacing. Okay, they don't look to be too good to me. Okay, you got a police car that's right there. Like, you could easily bypass that, in my opinion. All right, it's not very safe. And again, these were not there. This is what's being replaced. This picture is from 2021. All right, so this is some years ago, but that's how it'll normally look. I think that's not very secure. Now, this is really kind of a tone-deaf message. This is from Allstate during Sugar Bowl, okay? Because They had to postpone that due to the attack. This is what they decided to play on air. And of course, if you want to see this, I'll link to it in the box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Welcome to the All-State Sugar Bowl. Wednesday, tragedy struck the New Orleans community. Our prayers are with the victims and their families. We also need to be stronger together by overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity. Join Allstate working in local communities all across America to amplify the positive, increase trust, and accept people's imperfections and differences. Together, we win.
All right, so that's that. I don't know what that was all about. Okay, I understand the general sentiment of, okay, let's all be in, work together in peace, all this, that, and the third, but it kind of comes off like, all right, well, we know who did that in New Orleans, and we know what kind of religion and how he was radicalized, but hey, don't hate on anybody because of that. I think that shouldn't be the message. I think it should be, hey, prayers out to the families of those who were injured. That's what I would say. If you're going to say anything, don't try to get into this political, moral messaging. I don't really like that too much. All right, now let's get into this here. This is going to be the media tour of Samson Jabbar's home. And remember, he is the guy who drove that F-150 Lightning onto Bourbon Street in New Orleans through a crowd of people, claiming at least 15 lives with at least 30 injured. Let's watch.
We are here inside the New Orleans terrace home. You can see that it's been clearly destroyed, the door at least, from the FBI raid yesterday. But if we walk through the home, we see some signs of what he was up to. He had this work area here.
Let's pause. Is that a shredder up under the desk, or a filing cabinet, or is it a tower PC? I can't really tell what that is. If it's a tower PC, then that shouldn't be there at all. The Federale should most certainly have that. I don't think they're going to take components from it and just leave it there. So hopefully it's not a tower PC, because if it's a tower PC, that's a big ball drop.
Lots of different chemicals splayed around, and different electronics. This is, again, a work setup. Left receipts, just very unkempt in here. If we go over here, actually, you can see the Department of Justice documents here, the search warrant, and the property that they recorded here, which seems to be a lot of chemicals. Again, just left in disarray. There's a bedroom back here, and his what appears
baking soda and whatnot. Okay, are we cooking crack? Are we cooking meth? Like, what's going on?
appears to be his collection of religious materials, his Qurans, an open Quran with a passage there, as well as even...
Now let's pause. This is the Quran in Arabic, or at least that's what I'm seeing right here. Maybe there's some English on the side, but you can see over here in the what's that, the Latin characters, it's pronouncing the Arabic words, and you can see the Arabic over there on that side.
Even the Bible here, but mostly books on Islam, and his prayer rug just to the left of me here. And if we go back, there's another bedroom here. You can see he left all these belongings, contact lenses.
Now, okay, they're kind of skipping over stuff. All right, so I'm seeing a pill bottle right there. All right, so obviously we got some medication going on, mental illness going on, of course. Always medication. They want to bypass that because so much of the mainstream media is bought and paid for by Big Pharma, but that's a different story.
All these belongings, contact lenses, personal belongings, bathroom. This seems to be some sort of workspace, again, with other chemicals here. The light's still on. Some kind of...
You got a scale right here. Okay, you got a scale, you got a clamp. So what are we building? We have a big, what's that, a serger, power serger, with a lot of outlets in it. Why are there so many outlets right there? I don't know.
Station set up here. We're not really sure what that was for. In, what we can assume was also a bedroom. You can see clothes left here.
Now, you see this scarf right there? Isn't that what they wear a lot in Palestine? Isn't that part of the resistance movement? When you go to New York City and see some of the rich kids out there talking about free Palestine, isn't that what they're wearing? Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all let me know in the comments.
And just a sign that someone was here up until those last few moments when neighbors said he left just before the New Year's holiday, saying he was done with his lease, it was up, and he was on his way to New Orleans where he would live there. Didn't take any furniture because he said his new home would be furnished. That's all we know so far.
Alrighty, so there we go. Now, I would comment on what she's wearing, but ain't no point because she's not going to listen no way. You know, that's just a Gen Z young people. They're going to wear what they want to wear. But anyway, as I close, I want to say this. I don't understand why they let them do that. If anybody can inform me on why they would let them do that, and if it's a smart thing to do, aren't you contaminating evidence? Did they comb through everything? I'm seeing some stuff in there that shouldn't be in there. Why do we have a pill bottle with pills in it? Shouldn't you be taking that? Shouldn't you kind of like take a lot more stuff? And if you're not going to take everything, why are you allowing the media just to be in there with cameras and whatnot? It's confusing to me, but I'm no expert. I'm no legal. You guys let me know more about that in the comments, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your thoughts on this whole situation with the Ballards not being there, with the area not really being secure? Okay, you are blocking the road entrance with vehicles, maybe concrete barriers, plastic barriers, or whatever. You're blocking that area with that. But you got these sidewalks that can fit an F-150 Lightning in a full-size truck. These trucks are big. Listen, sometimes I can't, if I'm going into a parking garage, I'm looking, okay, what's the clearance? Do I have enough space to get in between this and that? Like, it's difficult to drive these big trucks in the tight spaces. How are you able to get this truck on a sidewalk and go down Bourbon when you got a blockade? Obviously, it's not a blockade. You need to have bollards in the center of the sidewalk. I can understand it might be difficult for pedestrians. They're drinking. They're going to trip over it. But you got to do something. You can't just allow that area to be open to trucks going around the barrier, because what's the point of the barrier? But whatever your thoughts are on that, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is kind of crazy. It's really ridiculous. And there's going to be a lot more that comes out. One more thing I found out before I close, wrapping on up, put the bow on top for real. The other person who did the Vegas bombing of the Tesla truck, he was active duty Army and he was a Green Beret. We all know that they were at Fort Bragg at the same time, went to Afghanistan at the same time, and listed right around the same time, one in 07, one in 06. And they rented their cars from the same place, the same company, electric trucks, one a Cybertruck, one the F-150 Lightning. The attack on the same day. I mean, there's too many connections there, in my opinion, for these guys to not know each other. And we're finding out more about how the whole thing played out. I think in New Orleans, you had a definite security lapse. There needs to be more done to secure that particular area, especially since you got the big game coming up. You might have a copycat. So please, please, please be safe out there. Be careful. And that's pretty much what I got on that. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.